Please welcome Atlassian Senior Vice President and Head of Product, Agile and DevOps, Matt Schvimmer.
So let's start. We're going to jump right in. Start with just talking about the state of software development today. And I'll tell you, if you've been in the industry a long time, it's an industry that we always have high velocity of change, right? Well, the pace, it's insane. Even for those of us who've been in the market a long time, it's crazy how fast things are changing. It's not even month to month. It's like day to day, week to week is insane, the amount of change we're having. And your ability to adapt to that change is more critical than ever, both for you, your career, and your organization. So I'm going to touch on three major trends that are driving change in the software development world. Holy cow, I can't believe it. I'm starting with AI. No one saw that one coming, right? Yep. I've said AI more times than I can count over the last year. I've said it so much, my dog thinks his name is AI. Okay, if you don't like that joke, I got worse ones coming. This is definitely not the Jason Sudeikis and Coach Beard section. But AI is fundamentally changing, right? How humans and technology interact across our everyday lives. And that's true, too, when we think about how it's transforming the software delivery lifecycle, as well as the DevOps processes that underlie it. I think we all know it's not a matter of if, but how we all lean into AI. It's absolutely non-negotiable. All right, the second one, it's a myth. I want to dispel a myth. Developers don't spend their day, all day, writing code. Anyone that's been a developer knows that's true, or if you've tracked developer productivity, you know it's just not the facts, right? Almost all developers that I've ever encountered spend less than half their time actually writing code, often as low as 20 to 30% of their day. The reality is that there's a myriad of tasks across the dev lifecycle that they have to spend their time on. And accelerating the pace of innovation requires you to reduce the friction across a number of pain points across that daily life and their daily experiences. So we're going to talk about how we accelerate and remove those friction blocks. Third, in general, we talk about software development, we talk about speed, but sometimes speed is the problem. If you're going the wrong direction, I like to call it the ready, fire, aim problem, right? You can go really, really fast, but if it's taking you in the wrong direction, that can lead to horrible results right down to the bottom line for your organization. It really requires development teams to get aligned, share, collaborate, make sure you reduce the risks up front so that the organization knows what direction to head to together. We need to make software development a team sport. So there's a number of different industries in the audience. I've met a number of customers here at the show. No matter what your industry is, you're here at this conference really because at the core of what you do is software. Software builds some of the core differentiation to the value you deliver. And one of the hardest things that you have to deal with is how do I accelerate the pace of innovation for my software teams? And this means reducing the friction in their everyday lives across the tools and the processes developers deal with. And providing a great developer experience, it's not just the right thing to do for your dev team. It's the right thing to do for your bottom line. There was a study by Dora, not the Explorer, but all right, that was some murmuring from people that have kids in the audience on that. The Google Dora team did some research and looked at companies that invested in developer experience had a 30% higher organizational productivity. There's a direct line from improving organizational productivity to bottom line results. So developer experience is more important than ever. But I know, I can hear you, I'm telepathic, and you're saying, but how do I unleash a better developer experience for my teams? Well, I'm glad you asked in your own head. I can hear you. Well, that's what we're going to cover in this session. So I'm going to talk about three ways Atlassian is going to help you unleash the power of your development organization aligned to the three big trends that I talked about in the beginning. First, we'll talk about how we're completely reimagining the software delivery lifecycle in the age of AI. Second, I'm going to show you a bunch of great new innovations of how we're driving and removing friction across a myriad of dev workflows, not just the time spent in the editor. And third, we're going to cover how our portfolio allows you to make software development a team sport and make sure you build the right thing the first time. All right, so we're going to get into it. Let's start with how we're imagining software delivery in the time of AI. Since we first launched Atlassian Intelligence, we have 30,000 customers that are using us to help unblock, change the way they work together, and stay in their flow. The impact is also magnified for these on AI for development teams because, as I talked about, they're not just developing, right? They're working on security vulnerabilities. They're managing observability. They're doing incident triage. They're managing code, software health, cloud costs. There's a ton of different challenges in this new environment that mixes, modern microservices with legacy code, the challenge of collaborating with distributed teams, and reams of data all over. All of this creates friction in their everyday lives and prevents them from doing what they want to do, and that is driving innovation, focusing and building on cool shit. I was allowed 2 curse words in this session, by the way, so I've used 1, so I'm still inside my quota. Okay, so we're going to talk about, let's get into it. How are we reimagining and removing the bottlenecks across the full life cycle? So to make this real, I'm going to invite Josh Devaney, who's our head of AI for Agile and DevOps here at Atlassian, onto the stage to take us through some of those innovations. Josh, come on up.
Thanks, Matt, and hello, everyone. Our team, as Matt mentioned, has been hard at work reimagining how we can bring AI to this entire software development lifecycle. In fact, one of our strengths is our breadth, from idea to planning, from deployment all the way through operations. As we've been thinking about how we bring AI across this whole lifecycle, we've done 2 things. The first, we've thought about the places where we can bring the most powerful experiences to you, our customers, and improve your productivity. Second, we've thought about how we can bring AI to places that are across and in between tools across this lifecycle. Our mission is to improve your developer productivity and happiness by bringing powerful AI experiences across the whole lifecycle. And today, I'm very excited to show you some of the things that we have baking. But let's bring this to life a little bit with a very trendy and fictional e-commerce retailer called Stackies. They are experts in portable cuisine. And in the cutthroat world of stackable lunchboxes, only the best and brightest survive. I'd like to introduce you to Brooke. She is their lead product manager, and she has a great idea for how they can increase sales. Her idea is that the NBA finals are coming up, and she'd love to allow their customers to personalize their lunchboxes with their favorite NBA teams. And so to share this idea with her team, she does what every product manager does. They screenshot the existing experience, and then they draw squiggly lines over the experience. And I record a Loom video. And so Brooke has recorded a Loom video here. And Loom AI optimizes the video. It organizes it and cuts it up into chapters automatically so that her team can get access to the information they need when they need it. And it also gives Brooke, which you've seen in the keynote, the ability to create a Jira issue. It automatically transcribes Brooke's idea and allows her to choose the Jira project where she'd like to create this and the issue type. This is really great for bug reporting. Loom AI will automatically recognize this and create reproducible steps. But in this case, Brooke's sharing a feature idea that she has, and so she's going to create an epic so that she can detail it out in Jira. As she jumps over to Jira, you can see the summary, description, and link to the Loom video have all been automatically filled out by Loom. There, she can see that Loom AI has automatically done this for her. Now, we know that making sure your issues are well-detailed is super important. A well-detailed issue means that there's no back and forth between the dev team and the product team, or the dev team and the design team. There's no wasted effort. And so we're hard at work in Jira building AI features that help you scope issues easier and more powerfully. And so we're going to look at a couple of features here on how Brooke can use AI. So the first one is one that we're calling related resources. And this is where the related resources across the Atlassian teamwork graph, Confluence pages, Loom videos, Bitbucket repositories, even third parties, Google Docs, GitHub, etc., will automatically be pulled onto the Jira issue. The AI will determine the most valuable resources, the most related resources, so that your teams don't have to manually attach them, and you can start using these to scope the issue better. Now that Brooke's got a fully fleshed out issue, she's going to use a new feature we've added called Add Structure to detail out the issue so her dev team knows exactly what the outcome of the issue is. So you can see here the AI will go off. It will read the Confluence page. It will read the description. It will understand what the outcome of the issue should be, and it creates these headings that you can see, a definition of done, and it will do this on a per issue type basis. So if there's a different issue type that's not an epic, it will also create different headings. This reduces the time between this reduces the chance of any misunderstandings between Brooke and her team when the team picks it up. And so we've got a great issue that Loom AI has filled out. We've added related resources, and we've detailed out a way better description. Now it's time to divvy this issue up into smaller subtasks so the development team can pick up. With AI work breakdown, Brooke can use AI to automatically suggest child issues. Again, reading from all of the detail on the Jira issue, but also any Confluence pages that are linked to detail out these child issues. She can select the ones that she wants and then accept them, and they will be automatically created. No more having to do this manually, one by one at a time. And so Brooke leveraged the power of AI to provide her dev team with all the information they need to get started. She used Loom AI to record her idea and automatically create a Jira issue. She used related resources to pull all of the rich context from the Atlassian teamwork graph. She used the issue reformatter to provide a really well-detailed issue for her team. And finally, she used AI work breakdown to make sure that she could be fast and bring all of the right context when she's creating all of the child issues. But that's what Brooke has done, and that's how we sped up the life of the product manager and the design team. But what about the developer? How are we thinking about that? So I'd like to introduce you to Jenna. She is the lead developer at Stackies and has jumped right on this project because we want to get this shipped as soon as possible. Jenna has a ton of information to get started, but it looks like there's an acronym on this issue that she's not so sure about. So she hovers over it, and in real time, AI will define this for her. It will give her a clear explanation of what it is, and if she needs any more information, AI provides sources of where it got the information from so she can dig deeper if she needs. So she's ready to start coding. Jenna picks up one of the user stories and jumps into her IDE like she normally does. Here, she's able to collaborate with her AI code assistant, which can provide more tailored recommendations, pulling in context from the whole Atlassian set of products and the teamwork graph. In this case, she's asking a natural language question. She asks what the edge cases are that she should consider while writing this Jira issue. And it goes off, and it brings back the Jira issue, but it also gives her an answer of some different edge cases that she should consider. And so this is done in context. No longer does Jenna have to go off to Confluence or Jira to answer her questions. She can ask them right in line while she's coding, which saves her a ton of time. Jenna can also view the sources that have powered this answer if she needs any more detail. And so you can see here across the teamwork graph, these are the sources that we've used to provide this answer. It's powerful because developers no longer need to leave their IDE. We are working with leading AI technologies like GitHub Copilot, Tab9, Codium, and SourceGraph to bring this data from your Atlassian tools right into your IDE. We want to help take advantage of Atlassian's deep knowledge of work by working hand in hand with your AI pair programmer of choice. We can't wait to see what you do with these integrations. With the help she received from her AI Copilot in her IDE, Jenna raises a pull request in Bitbucket. And she uses the new automatic pull request description generator to create a pull request description. This is great because it means her team, when they arrive, can get all of the context that they need, and they no longer have to use telepathy to figure out what the pull request is about. And Jenna's free to move on to the next thing. She heads back to her Jira board, her team board, and she goes over to her own avatar in the top here and clicks it. That opens the new work suggestions drawer that is powered by the whole teamwork graph with personalized suggestions of things that are valuable to her and things that she should focus on. So next to her Jira issue, she can see that there are pull request comments, there's a failed deployment, a failed build, and we even surface issues that she's working on or assigned to that are blocking other people in her team. This is powerful because Jenna can not just see the next issue she needs to pick up, but all of the other things that she needs to address. So we've been able to help Brooke and Jenna turn a great idea into a pull request, all with the power of AI across our products. She was able to define an unknown acronym in the issue. She used the coding assistant integrations in her IDE to get all of the context she needs. She used pull request descriptions to automatically generate a pull request with AI. And finally, she found out from her Jira board all of the context that she needs for what she should focus on next. But we want to talk a little more about where we want to take our vision for software development and how we're going to take it to the next level. We are exploring ways to turbocharge productivity even further with AI. And we're excited to share some previews here today of things that we're working on, things that we're experimenting with. And so we're going to go right back to where we left off with Jenna on the work suggestions board. And it turns out that these pull requests here, this pull request line item, is actually about 3 comments that have been added to the pull request that she just created a few minutes ago. And so Jenna decides to stay in context and go and check them out. She jumps over to Bitbucket, and you can see here in Bitbucket that there's actually an auto review agent that has left some comments on her pull request even before the rest of her team has seen it. This is an incredibly powerful experience because it means Jenna can improve her pull request without having to wait for the rest of her team to review it. Not only that, auto review shows you code that shows you the improvement that you can make to the code without having to write it. It's an example here that has been suggested to Jenna, and she can review it, and if she likes it, she can accept it. In this case, she does like it, and so she has accepted it. It will go off and write the code automatically. It will update the branch, and then update the pull request. And so there's no need for Jenna to do anything here, and the code's in a better state in a much faster amount of time. And so this will save the whole team a huge amount of time across all of their pull requests. And so Jenna's knocked out one issue, which is great. But there are 4 other issues that are going to take a little bit longer for her to do, and the NBA finals are coming up pretty soon, so we need to get these features shipped stat. We know that AI can definitely help Jenna in the IDE, but what if Jenna didn't need to go to the IDE at all? This is where AutoDev agent in Jira will come in. Jenna enlists the power of AutoDev to take care of one of the simpler issues for her. She goes up to the AutoDev button in the top right-hand corner. AutoDev will read the Jira issue, it will read her repository and her code base, and it will generate a plan of attack. You can see here it's come back with a 4-step plan of what it's going to do, what multi-file changes it's going to make. Jenna has the ability to manually edit this and make changes to this plan if she so desires, but in this case it looks great. It's a small change. She's going to go right ahead and create the code. So once the plan's approved, AutoDev is going to go off. It's going to write the code, it's going to lint it, it's going to do some testing in the background, all without Jenna having to do anything. If she wants to go and do something else while this is happening, she totally can. When it's done, she'll get a notification and she can see that the code has automatically been written. She can review it here, and then she can choose to open this directly in her IDE if she needs to make some changes, or she can raise a pull request directly. In this case, Jenna chooses to raise a pull request because the code looks great, and she goes ahead and does just that. So Jenna and team were able to successfully deploy the new feature by enlisting AutoDev and the AI code reviewer. Some time has passed The MBA Finals feature is in production, and the MBA lunchboxes are selling like hotcakes. It's time for Jenna's team to review the health of the software component that's running in production. They use their developer experience platform, Compass, to do this. You can see here that some of the health of this component isn't so great. There are some stale feature flags, the unit test coverage isn't great, and there's a security issue or two. Wouldn't it be great if AI could help here? Jenna enlists the help of AutoFix in Compass. Jenna uses AI to take care of it for her. AI automatically will go off and clean up the stale feature flags. It will address the unit tests, and it will remediate security vulnerabilities. The software component is now healthy, all thanks to AI for doing this in the background. Wow, we've shown a lot of ways the Stackies team has turned a great idea into a production feature in record time. We're talking about going from a quick loom to the nicest Jira issue you've ever seen to a pull request, all with the power of AI. But we're not stopping there. We're thinking about the future. Just imagine the ways that the team could take this to a whole other level with our future vision for things like AI, AutoDev, the review agent, and AutoFix.
Pregnant pause. Josh, the awesome capabilities. So for people here or people that are watching digitally, how can they stay up to date on all these capabilities, or if they want to register to be a beta tester, what do they do?
Awesome. If you're here at Team 24, please come and visit us at the booth. We have a live demo of AutoDev that we can show you. If you're listening online, we're going to show you a QR code later in the presentation where you can sign up to stay on top of all of the AI research that we're doing across our developer experiences.
Awesome. Thank you. Josh Devaney. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. So we just showed you a ton of ways that we're accelerating. We're using AI to accelerate the day-to-day for development teams. Now we're going to talk about some of the not so attractive parts of software development. So I mentioned before, developers only spend a fraction of their time writing code, right? So we set out on a mission to reduce friction across all aspects, not just in the editor. Developers spend hours setting up CI/CD configuration files. With dynamic pipelines inside of Bitbucket, developers can trigger compliant CI/CD pipelines with just a few lines of code. The pipeline is typically maintained by your platform engineering team, and it can ensure that their mission is to make sure that the pipeline meets compliance requirements. Once up and running, dynamic pipelines allow for smarter builds. They can do things like selective test execution, build templates, all in the effort of supporting faster runtimes. Another time-consuming process is performing checks to verify internal processes have run correctly, such as like if nightly test runs have passed successfully. These manual checks add significant amount of time to an already complex process. This is why we have custom merge checks now in Bitbucket to perform these checks automatically and alert your team if something doesn't pass successfully. They can be customized to meet your needs. You can do things like make sure a PR isn't too complex or too big. They make sure that the PR meets compliance standards, or make sure maybe a merge doesn't happen outside of business hours. You really get to set the policy. Also, by the way, you might be thinking, hey, is that Bitbucket in dark mode? Yes, it is, and it's coming soon to you later this year. Yeah, somebody likes Bitbucket in dark mode. Very excited. I was excited when I saw it. OK. One of the most time-consuming parts of software development is just finding the information you need to do your job. There was a Stack Overflow study that was out recently that said over 25% of developers spend over an hour a day just looking for the information they need to get their job done. I was like, an hour a day doesn't sound like very much. And then I did some math, and I was like, wow, that's 10% of your work week. That is a massive productivity hit just looking for information. This is one of the reasons that we built Compass, the first commercial off-the-shelf developer experience platform. And since its launch, Scott stole some of my magic yesterday, but since its launch, we've had over 5,000 customers that are using Compass to improve their developers' experience. It's a fully integrated developer experience platform that helps you track all of your services and systems to help you improve your software health, ensure engineering standards, and create a better developer experience. And I've got a ton of new great innovations to really get you excited to continue the mission of improving and empowering engineering teams and driving productivity. First of all, switching tabs is painful, right? It takes everyone out of their flow. It impacts productivity. This is one of the reasons that we've made Compass components now directly available inside of Jira for every developer, at no additional cost, by the way. By having software components clearly identified within the issue, developers don't have to search, don't understand what APIs, what services, whatever needs to be addressed. And Jira users can easily link items from the Compass software catalog directly within the issue without ever having to context switch. To take advantage of this, Jira admins out there, all you need to do is replace the default Jira components field with the Compass software component directly within your admin console. Did I mention it's free? Give it a shot. And when using Compass, we're making sure you get all the critical information you need when you need it. Most development teams own hundreds, if not thousands, of microservices. Understanding the health of all of these services and know which one to pay attention to at any particular time, it can be like looking for a needle in a proverbial haystack. Now with attention boards, Compass points to specifically what needs attention based on software health and scorecards. No more mystery, no more searching. And we're introducing a new developer experience dashboard to help developers quickly identify blockers. The DevEx dashboard provides insights into your team's cycle time and identifies where your bottlenecks are to speed up software delivery. This new DevEx dashboard is available for Bitbucket Cloud and GitHub customers. In addition to looking for information, another time-consuming process is writing documentation. Who likes writing documentation? Show of hands. One, okay, well, security, we have one person wrote two. Can we please have them removed? APIs are the building blocks of modern software engineering. And keeping API documentation up to date is a major lift for developers, especially when you think about the number of services they're responsible for. Developers are stuck looking for information, searching across repos, Slack channels, teams, all over the place to find the right documentation to build against an API or understand the dependencies of that API. This is why we were so excited to announce the acquisition of Optic, which allows us to provide every engineering organization with native API documentation and management directly within Compass. Teams can automatically now detect, track, and update changes to APIs across their entire ecosystem. They can connect this API information to scorecards to measure documentation accuracy and coverage, and set up systems to actively prevent API incidents before they happen. This frees up your dev team to not have to focus on documentation and maybe spend more time on some of that more valuable work they like to do. And lastly, we're bringing the world of dev and ops teams closer together by bringing alerting and on-call from Ops Genie directly now into Compass. You can easily manage all of your on-call schedules and escalation policies right within Compass. And with over 200 component-aware integrations, you always know which component is triggering an alert. For more information on this, you can check out the high-velocity ITSM Super Session on demand. So there you go, a number of great innovations of how we're driving innovation across Compass and Bitbucket to improve daily developer productivity and experience. It's one thing to hear from me, though, in my Vegas shirt, but it's so much better when you hear it from a customer. I'm excited to be joined here today by one of our great customers, Liz Watkins, who's a service operations manager at OVO Energy. She's going to share a bit about her company's experience using Compass. OVO was launched in 2009 with a unique mission to supply energy and save it. They provide energy and green technology products to millions of homes across the UK while helping those same residents reduce their energy bills and their carbon footprint. It's a pretty awesome mission, if I do say so myself, and I'm excited to hear how OVO is using Compass to help on their mission of improving their developers' productivity as well. Liz, please join me. Liz, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Step into my office here.
Thank you very much.
Liz, audience, Liz. All right, through the.
Hi.
So, oh, there you go. Some people. So at OVO, let's start from the beginning. Tell us about OVO before Compass and what led you to look for a solution like Compass.
Yeah, sure. So before Compass, OVO it's a really fast-paced company. It's a great place to work. And we have had quite a few acquisitions in a fairly short space of time. And for each of those acquisitions, we've gained a whole load of great new people, but we've also gained a whole load of services. Each of the companies that we've acquired has stored their services in different ways. So we've had some places have used really big, clunky systems which have maybe been only had a few users that have had to be real experts in how to use them. Some of those places have used maybe spreadsheets, which is a little suboptimal in terms of data sharing. And so what we've had to do is to pull all of those things together. And part of the challenge that we've had on an individual basis is around people actually just getting that information. So it's been really tricky, and we found that a lot of time people would be heading into a Slack channel and going, who knows what this is? Who knows what that is? Has anybody seen this thing? And so it was a time where people were very manually helping each other out.
No central source of truth, adds cognitive load, developer friction all over. I think I've heard that story before. Okay, so you found Compass, and tell us about the evaluation process and what sold you as it being the right solution for OVO.
Yeah, sure. So for the evaluation, we went out and spoke to a bunch of our stakeholders and found out what mattered to them. And the short answer was everything. So we figured we had to get that into a kind of neat, tidy scope. And we decided that the best place to start was with the goal to democratize our service data to everyone who needed it. So by that, we mean that the right service data is available to the right people in the right context with the right access. So we looked at a bunch of tools. We looked at staying as we were, and the spreadsheets surprisingly didn't win. And because we were already on Atlassian Cloud, we decided that a combination of the licensing being free at the time, the excitement of joining in with the beta. We started this like a year ago when the beta was real different to how it is now. And also the ability to link in with the other parts of the Atlassian suite was really powerful. We also didn't have a lot of the friction that we might have had with some of our other options around things like needing third-party logins, all that kind of stuff. So it was a real easy decision.
Nice. So we beat the spreadsheet, hooray, but single platform was one of the big selling points.
Definitely.
Awesome. And so maybe talk about what are the benefits, the value. By the way, I also love the democratization of data. That is like, if nothing like democratization of data talks about empowering developers. That's really great. So maybe talk about some of the benefits now that you've gotten.
So I think the main benefit has been just one place for people to go. That has been, it's reduced cognitive load. They don't have to go out of the window they're working in. They can just stick where they are and find what they need. And that has saved time, it's saved energy, it's saved waste. And it's really made that experience quite joyful. So yeah, I think that kind of overall is our big win, just one place to go. We've also found that being able to hook in the data across the Atlassian suite, so with things like Status Page and Ops Genie, that has been super cool. And we found that people have started to just use it. So at the minute, we've got the data in there. We've done that centrally, but we found that teams have just started to log in of their own accord and just add data in, which has just been incredible. You know, it really shows how passionate people get about having these options.
Yeah, that's awesome. You made a comment to me yesterday about, I forgot exactly how you said it, but it just is, it's a pleasure to use. I forgot how you said it exactly. I'm like, wow, in enterprise software, I don't hear that very much. So that was great. So maybe talk about one more, just talk about your future plans, where you go from here with Compass, and maybe you had some ideas around how you're going to leverage AI as well.
Yeah, sure. So I had a whole bunch of future plans before coming in here, and the last 40 minutes have just multiplied those by like 1 million. So the main thing we want to start with is around democratizing the ownership of data. So we've got it democratized in terms of viewing and visibility, but we want to find out how people want to own their own data and how we can help them to maintain it themselves so that data is always as up to date as it can be and as useful as it can be. So that's kind of our thing that we've just started working on right now. From an AI point of view, I have this dream that we have kind of Compass as an assistant. So I would love to be able to say, hey, Compass, tell me about what product features we're shipping this week which will help customers to cut carbon. That kind of really high-level big question, I think is really powerful. So, and I think that with a combination of continuing to work with the product team and also making use of the AI that we're seeing, it means that people at Over are able to focus on what we do best around helping our customers and ultimately helping our planet.
Liz, we're going to make that dream a reality. I'm telling you. So thank you, Liz Watkins. Appreciate your time and your partnership.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
We shared a ton of ways that we're helping you accelerate the pace of innovation. But there's a reason we talk about velocity and not speed, as I talked about early on, right? Going fast is great. Going fast in the wrong direction can be bad news for your company. Building the right thing the first time is more important than ever. And building the right thing, it requires collaboration beyond the software development team. It requires lots of alignment. You have to align with product teams to understand what the right thing is to build, the impact of that. You have to align with design teams to stay aligned and make sure you are kept up to date with the pace of change. Stay aligned with go-to-market teams to make sure you're hitting key milestones and getting the market at the right time. There's tons of things that you need to connect on. But building the right thing doesn't start with a line of code. It starts with an idea. Hopefully, a great idea. But to know that's a great idea, you got to vet it, right? You have to do research and discovery to understand and get customer empathy, right? Make sure you're addressing the right issues. And then understand, how can I deliver that capability that differentiates me from my competition? But product teams, we don't get a lot of love, right? I don't know, for those of you that are product managers or have been in a product organization, we typically don't get good tooling, right? I keep ideas in spreadsheets, roadmaps in PowerPoint, written lots of things on whiteboards. Has anyone used a whiteboard for a roadmap before? You're lying if you don't raise your hand. I'm telling you. And all this, sometimes you just put your ideas in the backlog and the developers have to figure out what's committed and what's not committed. It's chaos and it's a lose-lose for everyone. That's why Jira Product Discovery is so critical to our portfolio. It keeps development teams and product teams in lockstep. JPD is the destination for your product teams to organize and prioritize their ideas, get alignment with key stakeholders, and set development teams up for success. It's where you collaborate before you commit to work. We have over 7,000 customers using this today, and it's been quickly, it's become one of the most loved Atlassian products I think we've ever launched. We've generated over 3 million ideas as well, and I've got some great new updates for you. So my favorite part of Jira Product Discovery in my day-to-day life is the dynamic roadmap. Through my career, I've always had roadmaps in PowerPoint. Now I don't have to worry about that, the hassle of that. I always have an up-to-date, real-time roadmap to share with my stakeholders. The problem with that is the stakeholders had to have an Atlassian user ID. That doesn't work with everyone. Now we have a way to address that, and it's called view publishing. Oh, and now we change it to say publish views externally. Who changed my words? I don't know. I'm going to roll with it. Publish views externally. What does that mean? Glad you asked. All right, well, think about all those internal stakeholders you need to communicate with, or those customers you want to interlock with and share what's coming. You couldn't do that before. Now you can, and you have the control to only share what you want to share. So you have controls over what fields to share, what attachments, what comments. You control the granularity of what goes out to your customers in a read-only format. That's available now. Go check it out. We've also delivered Atlassian intelligence directly inside the editor for Jira Product Discovery. So now this gives you the ability to transform your bullet points or rough descriptions into a more mature, structured idea. Don't worry about syntax or grammar or layout. Let the AI do the work for you so you can focus on getting the idea crisp. This AI is now included as part of our new Premium edition that's coming out later this year. Premium is really targeting the needs of growing product organizations. It provides roadmap visibility to product leaders. So how do you roll those roadmaps up across your various teams? Standardize workflows across your product teams, enterprise SLAs, more granular controls, 24/7 support, all the stuff an enterprise admin knows and loves. If you want to sign up for and hear more about Jira Product Discovery, be part of the early access program for that, go down to the booth and sign up for our waitlist. Okay, speaking of Jira, I'm sure I said Jira at least a few times, right? You've heard already that we're bringing together Jira software and Jira work management into a single product called Jira. I had lots of clever jokes on this, but you've heard it enough before, so we're just going to jump into why we brought this together. So it spans wall to wall now across your technical and less technical knowledge workers, right? Giving them all the ability to have the same powerful capabilities and the same delightful experiences that you've known across these products. But now they can work together and manage and track the work within a team, but as crucially, across teams. It also means that some of those delighters in Jira Work Management are now available for your dev teams within software projects. One of my favorites is lists. Customers are going to love lists. It allows you to quickly add, edit, update, and configure tasks directly in line in a much more powerful list format. Check that one out. We're also supercharging Jira with AI well beyond the generative AI natural language JQL capabilities we introduced in December. Teams can now create workflows in their projects using AI automations, which turn natural language requests directly into workflows. For example, you can ask AI to build a workflow that simplifies the handoff process across teams to manage from feature rollout to marketing launch. Really, really quick and powerful. And finally, one more way we're bringing dev and ops teams closer together. We launched the new Incidents tab in Jira. The Incidents tab in Jira provides dev teams with the opportunity to collaborate more closely with their IT ops brethren on incident resolution through Jira Service Management. In addition to seamless integration with JSM, we're also announcing a great new integration with New Relic. That, if I click the button, there you go, with New Relic. There goes a dramatic pregnant pause for the audience. Check that one out as well. Now teams have a single place to bring incident data together so they can collaborate and get started on resolving the issue as fast as possible. All right, shared some great new ways. We're expanding software development to make it much more of a team sport. The improvements in JPD from publishing views externally, AI, as well as some of the new great capabilities coming in Premium Edition, as well as how we're bringing the best of Jira's together to improve collaboration across tech and non-tech teams, as well as IT and dev organizations. So that was a quick 45 minutes. We covered a lot. Can't wait for you to try out all this new great capability. First, Josh shared how we're completely reimagining software development in the age of AI, and he shared our vision and preview of some of the great new things we have cooking in AI. Second, we showed how Atlassian is reducing the friction across the entire software delivery lifecycle, and Liz shared some of her great story at OVO Energy of how they're taking advantage of Compass. And lastly, we covered how teams can come together and build the right thing by turning software development into a team sport. Everything we talked about today takes us closer to that system of work North Star we've been talking about, where teams work and collaborate on the same platform and are set up with the tools to deliver their best work every single day. All right, just a couple things before I set you free. Make sure if you want to meet up with and learn more about the AI capabilities, as Josh mentioned, go to the booth. You can learn more about some of these awesome features. You can see AutoDev in action. If you're watching this digitally, take a shot of the QR code here. Let me pause for a minute so you can do that. There you go. Thank you all. Appreciate your time today. Thank you, Josh and Liz, as well. Enjoy the rest of your team.